If you're ready to hit the track in the iRacing Ford FR500S Mustang, then sign up for the Barber Ford Mustang Club today. With great prizes from our awesome sponsors, this league is fast, fun, and best of all, free to race in. Take on 6 races of wheel-to-wheel action, all broadcasted live on Pit Stop TV. As a member, you will receive a $500 voucher to Barber Ford, plus entry into a raffle for a brand new Fanatec H-pattern shifter. Every point you earn on the track is 1 entry into the raffle, meaning you can race your way into a brand new Fanatec shifter drawn on December 15th. Battle your competitors at Charlotte Motor Speedway, Watkins Glen, Road Atlanta, Barber Motorsports Park, Brands Hatch, and for the finale, Lime Rock Park. Join the Barber Ford Mustang Club at League ID 3350 today.
In 100 years of history, only the greatest have ever conquered within the hallowed grounds of the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. When NASCAR arrived in 2022, that statement rang even more true, and a new entry was made in the history books. While we aren't rewriting history within this legendary facility this evening, we are taking some of the Icon Cup Series best, and even a few newbies, and sending them around the LA Coliseum Raceway for 180 laps in one of the most fun cars you could ever drive. Welcome to Pit Stop TV and the virtual Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. My name is Andrew Cardinale IV, and it's a pleasure to join you for coverage of Icon off-season racing at this virtual rendition of such a historic venue. Tonight's coverage is brought to you by Whiplash Simcams, ATVO, CC's Business, and the Icon Cup Series. And look at these pictures on your screen now. Such a cool place to possibly put a racetrack, maybe just about one of the coolest. I think Chicago maybe might check in just a little bit cooler than the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, but then again, who am I to say? This is just such a cool place for us to be racing, especially this evening for this latest entry in the Icon off-season mini-series. Week number 3 of 5 as they take the racetracks that you might never see them at otherwise through the course of the fall and winter of 2023 and prepare for 2024. A new season is on the way, but that is for January. We are in qualifying already in this session. We can take a look at the LA Memorial Coliseum Raceway. And this is, again, one of the coolest places you could ever possibly put race cars in. NASCAR is not the first to do it. There have been several races held within and on the grounds of the Coliseum. Most notably, think about X Games, think about Rallycross. In fact, if you go back to Dirt 3, one of my favorite video games of all time, you can race on a track within the LA Memorial Coliseum, I do believe. My memory might be a little mistaken, but I'm pretty certain in that one. And it's one of the coolest possible tracks that I think rally cars could ever take to. This, again, is one of the coolest tracks you could send the Legend cars around. And we do have some data, in fact. Legend cars, they do have a lap record here. It checks in at a 13.968, thanks to Devin T. Landry. We aren't quite hitting those numbers today. It's a 14.489 currently qualifying for Adam, let's see, Berberick. Adam Berberick we're going to go with, but we are kind of flying into the unknown. 180 laps of the Legends car, that is unheard of, and on this tiny quarter-mile speedway, we're definitely going to be flying into a bit of the unknown. Track map out of the way. We don't exactly have points or anything. There are point standings. We can talk about that later on in the evening. And the winner of this mini-series championship will go on to get a free entry to the league in 2024. But that's kind of out of the focus of this evening. Really, we're just talking about race cars and a racetrack and having some fun with it. And who would want anything else, right? Let's take a look down trackside at some of our qualifying standings. You can see where certain drivers are checking in. Adam Berberick, the fastest. Robert Dials, second. Then Cyrus Gorange. A lot of interesting names. Adam Ball there in 4th. Kevin Gunther there in 5th place. Ryan Patty in 6th. Herbert Solomon, Dawson Cram, Jake Plummer, and Nathan Finnegan make up the rest of your top 10. Some drivers are coming, some drivers are going. Of course, this is a hosted session, and we will see some come and some go. That said, let's take a look at our Whiplash Simcam's race details as, actually, this is the practice session. I was told to be the qualifying session. That's okay. We don't have to worry about that. 180 lap race, US Legends cars, the coupe body. We don't have the sedan on iRacing, unfortunately. It is fixed setup, no damage, no auto yellows. Pits will be required. Maybe. That was the initial thought. Now Ryan Patty is in my ear telling me that this should be a race where these guys can go all the way on fuel. But if we get a caution or maybe you want to go a little bit lighter, honestly, this is going to be a little bit of a demolition derby in a way if there are no yellows thrown, simply because it will turn into kind of that D-class style race on iRacing. And I'm not saying these guys are going to wreck each other all night long, but it'll be kind of free-for-all. Every man for himself in that kind of situation. Practice then coming to a close. We'll see if these guys head on into qualifying. They should. They might have left a surprise for me in the session setup, but we'll see here, I suppose, in a moment. While these guys end their practice session, while we get ready for our next bit of fun for the evening, let's take a look at what we have upcoming here at Pit Stop TV. There you go, 5-minute qualifying session. That's what we like to see. Sunday, well, tonight, that's happening now. We had 2 broadcasts today, 1 graphic, since the 2 broadcasts were so close together. Of course, we're racing this evening at the LA Memorial Coliseum. Then Tuesday, in 2 days, not quite tomorrow, but in 2 days, we take street stocks to the Iowa Speedway. And guys, in this Icon Cup series, I really recommend you look into those Lucky Motorsport Solutions street stock series brought to you by Elevated Performance. Really has been a lot of fun. Iowa coming up, race number 7 of 16. We have a really cool schedule beyond that. Message me for more information if you'd like on Discord, or you can actually search for the D-Line Racing League on iRacing and get to it from there. Friday, we head out to Lime Rock Park with Barber Ford. That out of the way, we have got cars on track. Cirrus Gorage on track right away in the number 89 and sending the mail, apparently, because he went to P1 in qualifying. Taking a look at now Adam Ball on his 3rd lap. So he's actually done, as is Ryan Patty. How about Tyler Gebbin? It looks like he has to cancel lap number 2. Dylan Matthews, maybe the same story. Here is, though, our practice winner, Adam Berberick. Fastest in practice. Let's see what he can do here in qualifying. Lap 1. That is not pole time. Not in the slightest is that pole time. He actually goes P6. Tyler Gebbin drops down to 8th. And for lap number 2 for Adam, it's slower. Wow. Okay. That's not at all what I expected. We've got other cars on track. Here's Aaron Salerno. He's unfortunately run through all of his qualifying laps. He will not be going any faster. Nathan Finnegan is on track. He completes lap number 1. And it looks like there must have been an incident point for Finnegan. Let's see what he can do here on lap number 2, though. Down into turn 3. Right around the inside wall. Anything maybe for this guy. Car number 6. He had a quick time, almost. Does it move him up the board? It does. 3rd position. So that first lap did count, by the way. It just took a minute, but we do see lap number 2 move Finnegan up to 3rd position in qualifying. Gebbin still in the pit lane. Salerno has run through his laps, and now it looks like may burn it down. We're waiting on some others to head on to the racetrack. Robert Jones did take to the pavement. That's about all that can be said of his attempt. Here is Kyle Corley now heading out on the racetrack. And let's go within the helmet here of Corley and take a look at what it's like to drive a legend around the Coliseum. Not totally sure of himself. A little bit easy on the throttle, really. Oh, well. That is the most unique qualifying attempt I've ever seen. Thankfully, no damage. That car will get back together and head back out. This will be lap number 2 then for Kyle Corley, and it should be back in the pack, unfortunately, just by virtue of that flip. Let's see if he can complete this lap. The answer is no. Robert Dials, very similar situation for the number 330. Looks like he's going to have some trouble getting a qualifying lap in here as well. He might still be able to get lap number 2 in. Lap 1, not going to go down in the record books at all. And lap number 2 for Robert Dials. It's a clean one. Not going to win any awards. 14.9. It will move him into 8th position ahead of Kevin Gunther, Tyler Gebbin, and Dylan Matthews. So it is worth noting. And here we go. Edwin Leslie. Oh, lap 2. He almost had it. Lost it out of turn 4. I don't know what went on there. That might still count. I don't think he went all the way around. No, that 21 flat will not count, unfortunately, for Edwin Leslie. And his run will come to a close. Well, as Leslie turns some extra laps, that might be it for drivers taking to the racetrack and qualifying. We saw, let's see, the 11 that took times. 1, 2, 3, 4 extras. Looks like maybe a 15-car race with those that were able to stick around. And that's not that bad, considering this is a hosted session, open hosted session, for anybody on iRacing to join. And it's one of the most interesting combos I think you can ask for in a random hosted session to find on iRacing. A big shout out to those helping us out with the broadcast, including, of course, Whiplash SimCams, ATVO, and CC's Business. By the way, Zach Murtis did join me for the last edition of the Icon Cup Series and the Icon Off-Season mini-series on Pit Stop TV, and unfortunately, I'm not at liberty to explain all that much, but we do wish the best to the Murtis family. They had some trouble earlier this week. Fortunately, Zach is not able to join us this evening. He's had a hell of a week. Just thoughts out to Zach. I think he's working tonight, so not the worst case, but just he's had a rough week, and so our thoughts are certainly with him. We've got cars ready to go racing, though, from the LA Coliseum, and we are so glad to have it all here on Pit Stop TV. Barty might not look that excited, but let's take a look at our starting grid. Cyrus Gorange will lead us to the green from car number 89. Then it's Adam Ball from the outside of row number 1 in car number 19. Starting from 3rd position, Nathan Finnegan in car number 6. Vincent Loria will start from 4th. Starting 5th place, it's Anthony Carrasquillo. That is a unique name. A lot of letters in that name. Anthony, I think, you know what? I have sympathy for you. I'm sure kindergarten, 1st grade, learning to write your last name was not the best. I can sympathize. Cardinale, not the easiest one to get down when you're learning through kindergarten, 1st grade. I sympathize. Ryan Patty, though, starts from the 6th position. Starting 7th, how about Adam Berberick? Robert Dials from the 8th position. Kevin Gunther from the 9th spot. And Tyler Gebbin rounds out our top 10. A few others past the top 10 will be with us. A lot of these drivers, though, will not have left the hosted session in the large majority. Some drivers that we know will be joining us are Jake Plummer, Kyle Corley, Edwin Leslie, and Aaron Salerno, and probably a couple of others. It looks like Dawson Cram, Mike Sargent. They will not be in this race, but there will still be several that do join us. While the grid ticks on by on the bottom of your screen, let's take a look at weather conditions for this race. In case you're curious, it's a clear night, very warm in early December in Los Angeles. Apparently 82 degrees in the air, 83 degrees on track, and there you see the field rolling off. Aaron Salerno lighting up the rear tires. Well, we know somebody's going to have to pit. That's all 24 cars that have entered this session in any way, shape, or form. They will not all be joining us in the race this evening. Of course, as mentioned a little bit ago, this is a hosted session. Some drivers have joined, some drivers have left, and we are left with, it looks like, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, hopefully is still the count. There might have been a couple that dropped out, it looks like, even between qualifying and the grid. But we still have, looks like 13 cars ready to go racing. Let's get it done then. At the LA Memorial Coliseum, into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. And we are about to go racing in Los Angeles. Green flag for the Icon off-seasons mini-series. There we go. Contact already, Finnegan around, and we're going to have ourselves a big crash on the outside of turns 1 and 2, but everybody else keeps on going. Gorange, the race leader. Gorange, Loria, and Ball, your top 3 as we complete lap number 2. And starting to get a couple of laps now under our belts. A few cars at the back end, they, unfortunately, faced the wrath of the Memorial Coliseum on lap 1. And Edwin Leslie, no, that's Ryan Patty, and we've got a crash for 2nd. And this is going to be an interesting 180 laps. No damage. Whoever completes it all first will get the win. Finnegan going to try and help Patty get back over. And I have a feeling we'll be looking at a couple of static cameras a lot this evening as drivers just try to complete 180 here. It's not the easiest thing to do by any means. Oh boy. Two cars in their lids. That's a 24 of Leslie and the 30 of Patty. Gorange is a 5-second lead, and there goes the 14. That was Loria helping Patty get turned back over. And he's done it again. He flips right back over. There we go. We're starting to get cars flipped over. Oh, boy. got ourselves a situation over on the front stretch. Thankfully, no medevac needed. There goes the 14, though. Loria, he goes out into the fence, and unfortunately, he's going to need, take a tow. He will not be getting off of the fence there. Leslie's still parked in the center of the racetrack. Not sure if he's going to get back going or not. He will sandwich Gorange, the race leader. And what this may turn into, and what this may have already turned into, is a crash the leader. Who's going to be first across the line? We've seen this before on iRacing. It's actually a pretty fun format. Rules kind of go out the window at that point, and we're going to have to start watching the race leader, this time Adam Ball, at the moment. Because everybody's gunning for the race leader, trying to win the race, keep the leader from pulling away too much. It's all going to happen around the 19. Contact there from the 88. Corley got into him. Corley is going to get squirrely off of turn number 2. Gorange now second place. He's trying to haul the mail right into Corley, who's spun, and yeah, we've got ourselves a situation on the front stretch again. That is, who is that flipping? That is Gunther, it looks like. Back onto all fours. Gorange is retaking the race lead. Adam Ball falls to second. And I think this very quickly devolved into a smash to pass. So Gorange, the race leader, he's got 8 seconds on Adam Ball. So far last is Vincent Laraya taking the tow to pit lane. He has fallen 6 laps down and will fall 7 here. Gorange is on his own right now, guys. If drivers are listening to the broadcast, trying to get the leader, Gorange is on his own. He has got seconds ahead. He's got seconds behind. If you're going to get him, you've got to find a way to him. I mean, he's all alone. Gorange is catching up to the 17, though, of Dylan Matthews. The last car 1 lap down. Only 3 on the lead lap. Those are Gorange, Ball, and Plummer. Plummer, 2 cars currently ahead of Gorange in the number 60 with those green rear fenders. He comes up on Edwin, and Edwin Leslie will hold bottom and make contact with Plummer. That's going to put Plummer 1 lap down. Adam Ball then, P2. He's going to get hooked by Edwin Leslie. Almost went around and officially has gone 1 lap down. Vincent Laraya is still in the pit lane. Ryan Patty spins there on the front stretch. He goes 5 laps down. Edwin Leslie, another driver, 5 laps or more behind the race leader. And this is going to be a buckle up and just get laps in if you are Cirrus Gorange. You got a lap out everybody and no cars to be seen except Corley here. Corley doesn't take a swipe. Next up will be Gunther, I believe. Patty loose. He takes out Corley on the inside. There's Jake Plummer. He's going to go 2 laps down. Aaron Salerno parked on the front stretch and in harm's way for sure. Here comes the rest of the field to try and go by. Kyle Corley stomped on his lid. Vincent Laraya slow on the bottom of the racetrack, and he will now get going. It looks like it's not full smash to pass. I'm learning a little bit kind of what these guys are going to be doing the rest of the evening. It's not full smash to pass, but it is definitely a almost smash to pass kind of race. Adam Ball has fallen quite a ways back. He's on the backstretch into turn 3. He's a lap and a half behind Cirrus Gorange. And it doesn't look like that gap is closing in at any point in time soon. Kyle Corley now, last place. He's in the pit lane. Edwin Leslie at least is on track. Those drivers are both 8, now 9 laps down. Vincent Laraya 8 laps down. These guys have got to get a grip. The good news is they can't surprise us with a completely pitch black finish. Unlike Monza, the LA Coliseum does have lights, pretty good ones too, as Ryan Patty goes for a spin. Adam Ball will continue. He's the only driver within 2 laps of the race leader currently. Gorange has been nearly untouched. Something tells me that might change here. Well, the contact there, Finnegan got into him, Patty stacked up as well, and sure enough, Gorange has a fleet of cars on his back end. Nobody sends it, though. It's like the most respectful smash to pass I've ever seen. It's definitely not what I expected signing up for this broadcast, but hey, Gorange got slowed down a little bit, so now it's on Adam Ball to try and catch up. Right on board with somebody who's had some trouble this evening, Ryan Patty. Qualified towards the mid portion of the field, and, you know, from what I've seen, while he's been pointing the right direction, he's had a little bit of trouble on corner exit. And that's some trouble up ahead. Nearly rolls back over just like earlier. Well, Cyrus Gorange, still the race leader, lets a lot of cars go by here on the bottom side. One crashing high, one crashing low. But the 89 continues to just not be involved in it. I don't know why everybody seems to be missing him and him alone. I mean, he's the luckiest mail carrier I've ever seen. Okay. Robert Dials, he's slow, he's stopped. Top side of the backstretch to turn 3. Cars come by and will scoot by the 330. What's interesting is Tyler Gebbin has been to pit lane, but he is 4th position. He actually just got passed up by Jake Plummer. Plummer back into 3rd. Adam Ball now has gone 2 laps down. Again, Gorange has just been the luckiest duck. And quite honestly, if there were anybody in this race that I would trust with my priority packages, it would be Cyrus Gorange. He has missed nearly all of the calamity, has been nearly untouched. And just continues on. Orange now come around to put Adam Ball a 4th lap down. Sure enough, 4-lap advantage now for car number 89. Nobody has been able to touch him. He has the single lap pace as well. I mean, best lap, a 14.5. Nobody else is lower than a 14.6. The closest is Robert Dials at a 14.616. Next closest looks to be Kevin Gunther, a 14.659. So throw out the smash to pass part of the equation, and he simply has the most speed of anybody. Now 43 laps, well, 42 laps in the books, on to lap 43. This number 89 is speeding away. I don't know. I mean, these guys are all on a fixed setup, right? At least that's what I was told. That's what the information I was handed. He seems to be the only driver not struggling in any portion of the racetrack. I mean, he's got these 4 corners on lock. Everybody else is like they're hitting the gas too hard, they're turning too hard on entry or exit, and Gorange, okay, he gets the wall there, continues on, he's fine. Nobody can get him. Well, there we go, that's a change. Out into the 24 there of Leslie. Bit of a 360, okay. We're making a start, making a dent, guys. like when Grandma and Grandpa lay out that full Thanksgiving dinner. It takes up the entire dining table that, you know, is the size of a car. You got your whole family around. You're trying to make a dent in the 20-pound bowl of mashed potatoes. There's still 19 pounds to go, but you've made progress. On a ball, Mac, 4 laps down. That's what I'm saying, man. The pace of everybody in this race is just not there compared to the 89, and he just keeps snaking through here. He's just nice and careful, and nobody has it to keep up with him. Nearly 50 laps complete already, and he just keeps driving through it or driving away from it. Robert Jones now entering the race, it looks like. I'm not sure where he's been for 50 laps of racing, but he's got 130 to go. He might be able to run some of these guys down. Who knows? He would only be 30 laps behind Kyle Corley, who... certainly one way. Cyrus Gorringe up to the top side of the racetrack, moved up a little bit maybe that time by the 8 car of Gunther. Falls in behind Robert Dials. Now, let's paint the picture again of who can try to race this 89 as, again, cars get taken out. Gorringe goes by. I mean, nobody can get this guy. It's like he's invincible. He's got the star power in Mario Kart. And there, he even sends somebody. I mean, this guy can do it all. He can miss crashes, he can recover from crashes, he can send cars. Oh, he can get involved there as well with Aaron Salerno. And now we have had a change for second place. We've got cars crashing for a second. Gebbin had gotten by Adam Ball. That changes. Ball now back into second, albeit 5 laps down. And now Gebbin back into third. He's got a lap on the car directly behind him. That's Jake Plummer in the 60 car. Kevin Gunther, he's having trouble, and he got Cyrus Gorringe, maybe it looks like. And Gorringe, finally, big hit there. Finnegan and Ball kind of team up. And Cyrus Gorringe suddenly loses a lap. Let's see how that finally happened. First up, he kind of got away from that. Oh, Ryan Patty got him down in turn 3 and 4, and Gunther said, don't mind if I do. Here comes the rest of the field out of turn 4. I think it was Finnegan. Oh, it was, wow. Salerno got into Leslie, who got into Finnegan, who got into Gorringe. So yes, I would say we have devolved into smash the pass territory. Gorringe doing pirouettes, somersaults, and more in turns 1 and 2. Hello, we have woken up, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to have to take a tow. And Adam Ball, 3 laps down. He's going to work through those quickly. I think he's going to take over the race lead, and not by much. Although Gebbin does fall 1 lap behind him. Hello, we've got the change-up we needed. And there we go. Gebbin gets into Ball. That's going to hold things up a little bit. That's going to halt the process of Ball trying to get to Gorringe. Nearly tips it over on his own. And now the car directly ahead of him is 1 lap behind him. And if Gebbin really wanted to, he could take out Ball here. Just saying. Gunther's going to go for it. He sends Ball around. Says, nope, you're not taking over the race lead. Gorringe, he's still towing. He has not yet made it back onto the racetrack, so he now is losing his lead to Adam Ball this next time by, so long as they let Ball complete the lap. He's got a lap on Gebbin, or nearly a lap anyways, and sure enough, he will go by Cyrus Gorringe. So finally, a lead change, I think for the first time all night long. Adam Ball going to take over. Should have there. I think it'll happen officially here on the front stretch. Wow, you're kidding me. Oh, and Gorange out for revenge. He's going to send himself back onto his lid. Well, I'm sure Gunther is going to laugh about that one. So Gorange to the garage. Ball takes over the race lead. He's got 11 seconds back to Gebben, and suddenly everything has shifted in this race. Now, it's important to actually follow Adam Ball in this situation because he is a league member. He was very, very good at Monza. And I'm not sure how the first race went for him with the trucks at Eldora, but you know, I think he's definitely in the running to take home the most points in this mini-series and get free entry the Icon Cup Series next season. And considering, I mean, you could really make a league of your own with this. This, in and of itself, this combo would be a very interesting league. I mean, you've got the Gladiator idea, considering you're in the Coliseum. But if Ball can get through this and finish towards the front, as we've gone through over a third of this race, it could be a big deal to see him get free entry for 2024. I'm just saying, free league ideas here with Andrew. Set up a Gladiator kind of thing. Maybe some team events, who knows? Some cat and mouse, maybe? You could have some fun, and you could throw in Slinger. That's a bit of a Coliseum in and of itself. Irwindale isn't far away. You could have 3 different tracks you go to and have some fun at. Free league ideas. Although I do want royalties. All right, a little more fun here. Cyrus Gorange on the racetrack once again. He's going to fall into 5th position behind Jake Plummer. So make it 8 laps now that he's lost compared to where he was a little bit ago. Jake Plummer takes over 4th. Robert Dials into 3rd. Dials only a little ways back of Tyler Gebben, and this could be a little bit of an interesting race. I mean, 4.5 seconds between these two. They are 2nd and 3rd, so if somebody goes for Adam Ball, I mean, kind of looking at who would be next to take over. And it wouldn't even take a whole lot. It wouldn't take a full tow like we saw for Gorange. It would just take a couple of big accidents, I think, to get Ball out of the race lead. And Dials is reeling in that 22 car of Gebben. I don't know where Ball is just yet. There's Gorange just ahead of Dials, but things are definitely shaking up a little bit. And oh, Gorange! Wow! An absolute haymaker, and there goes everything we were theorizing, more or less. Gebben now gets away, and Adam Ball, I think, might have been involved in that or something else, because he's now only 9 seconds ahead of Gebben, and Ball might have a target on his back. He comes up, there's Edwin Leslie slowing him down. Leslie sends it into 1. Here comes Robert Dials, though, and Dials is just 1 lap back of this 19 car. Dials gonna send the 24 and get his lap back the hard way. Watch out, Bill Elliott. Big hit there for Gorange. Ball gets turned around. Where's Dials? Well, Gebben gets into Dials. Nobody. No, Gebben, you need to keep going, but Ball is on his lid. This might be it. That's an interesting perspective. There we go. Ball gets hit. Is that going to turn him back over? He's losing the race lead, but Dials now is slow. Dials is trying to maybe help him. Tell you what, this is not what I expected when the sun rose this morning. But I'm not mad. Alright, Dials takes over the race lead. It looks like Ball is finally back on all 4 tires. And Gebben is only 3 seconds back. So again, the game has been opened up, and suddenly Patty's only 2 laps down. Plummer's only a lap down. Dials gets slowed down. I mean, we've got something here, guys. This is significantly changed. The Dials, the black and green, number 330. Green Nerf bars, mostly black car. Start finish line there. Gebben, the black and orange, number 22. He's further back in turns 1 and 2. There he goes. Following whatever that was between the 14 and 24. Gebben is now P2. Oh. Well. Gavin now on his lid, thanks to the 14. I don't think he's going to be sending Christmas cards out to Lariah. Patty, though, going to try and help out the 22 car. He does. Oh, no. Maybe not. I'll tell you what, if you ran this either before or after, maybe after the Busch Light Clash here at the Coliseum. Oh, Dials on his lid. If he ran this sort of thing, certainly for a shorter duration, maybe take out the inside walls and run this after the Busch Light Clash, I don't think anybody would be upset. Corley and Gavin, it looks like, turned over. Gavin now into 6th and losing laps. Finnegan, they're backing up on the front stretch. Corley is already 23 laps down. I think hope is just about lost for him. And Dials has actually come down and helped Corley. And finally, Gavin takes the tow. So Dials is 2nd, and he just took himself out of contention for a little while at least to catch Adam Ball, who pulls away and has a 9-second lead, and there's crashing up ahead. Maybe he's not in the clear. That was Dorange on his lid with help, maybe from the 14 of Lariah, who takes a tow. We've got 1, 2, 3 cars in the pit lane. 2 cars have retired, so 11 still in this race. 9 on the racetrack. That's going to help Ball right now. He's able to put some laps down. As we approach halfway through this race, we've only been on air for 47 minutes. That's including the pre-race time. Let's see. Practice ended at 9, or 8 rather. We started talking, what, about 5, 6 minutes prior to that? So, anyway, since the race started, it hasn't even been 30 minutes. This is a pretty nice pace. We've got multiple cars involved. Gorange, Gavin, Finnegan, Leslie, Lariah, all slow. And Lariah, he's in the worst trouble right now. He has turned over in turns 3 and 4, and nobody is helping him out. Gunther goes low. Corley goes high. Dials goes low. Nobody is helping him out. And Robert Dials now... well, he gets into Corley. Oh, well, I was going to say, Dials was only a little ways off of Adam Ball. Make it now about a full lap. There's Ball. Ball comes to a slow. That was Gavin in front of him. Robert Dials, though, also in trouble, and nothing really going to change as far as timing and scoring. Just a little bit of variation in the gaps. And actually, Ball does go a lap now ahead of Dials. Plummer, 2 laps down. There he is. And Gavin's going to spin and do a flip. Gavin has not had a good day. But you know what? He was in it. I mean, he was in the running for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Not so long, I mean, what, 40 laps ago? Takes one big tow and suddenly, I don't mean on your foot. But it takes one big tow and suddenly you're way out of this. Coming up on halfway, Adam Ball has a 1-lap advantage in this smash 'em up, smash to pass, take out the leader type race that has evolved or devolved from the LA Memorial Coliseum. And, you know, you hype this place up as such a legendary place, and these guys, man, they're iRacers, they're sim racers. They want to go have the most fun they can have, and I think they're doing that this evening, admittedly. And I can't blame them. I really think they're having themselves some fun. Dials gets into Corley. There goes Finnegan. Finnegan is 7 laps down. He was a big part of that Monza race a couple of weeks ago where they had NASCAR Cup cars of all varieties on the Monza Oval. We went into complete darkness. Finnegan, though, not able to take that race win. It was, in the end, Robert Dials who went to victory lane in that race. You know what? Dials could be a big part of things as well as far as the mini-season standings, and he will go around. He loses even more time now to Adam Ball, who is on the back stretch, at a half a lap behind Dials to try and put him another 2nd lap down. All right, so you see the picture right now around Adam Ball. Remember Cyrus Gorange earlier in the race? He's still in it. In fact, he's 5th. He's 3 laps behind Ball. You know what? He's still in it to win it. Point being, there's a big gap around the 19 car right now. Everybody else is having their fun around the racetrack. They're getting a little bit of revenge in. What they're not doing is getting Adam Ball. They're not getting the race leader. So if we're going to have a smash to pass, guys, you are dropping the ball currently. Unintended. Jake Plummer turned over. Cyrus Gorange slow, and there we go. There's a traffic jam for the 19 to navigate. Edwin Leslie down low. Here comes Finnegan. Leslie's going to spin and hold the 19 up and send Finnegan into a flip. Ball is stopped there. There goes Gunther. He's going to pile through, and Plummer is just trying to get turned back over. Dials gets through all of that and makes up a lap here on Adam Ball, so he is now only, what, 10 seconds, 12 seconds back? Finnegan and Gunther, contact. Dials is like, man, guys, I don't need this. That's not going to help him. It is going to help Ball. Ryan Patty, 3rd place. I called him out earlier, said he wasn't having a very good night. Well, how time can change things, right? Coming up to 80 laps to go. He's 3rd place, 2 laps down. And these guys are starting to get after the 19 of Ball. That's not going to help the 30 car, though. And Corley nearly flips into the pit lane. I mean, these guys, when they hit hard. When they crash hard. Jake Plummer loses a spot. There goes Nathan Finnegan on by. Gavin, Corley, Lariah. I mean, it's a smash them up on the backstretch. They are just going after it. Adam Ball, he's been stopped and he's flipped on the backstretch. He is turned over and nobody is helping the leader. Sorry, leader. That doesn't happen, although... Lariah in the background, man. What a flip. Where's Dials? He's stopped in that stuff in turns 1 and 2. He gets tapped there by Gunther. There's Ball. He is going to get help. Finnegan gets into him, tries to flip Ball back over, and it works. The charity from car number 6. But will that be returned? Tyler Gavin, he is in the pit lane. Vincent Lariah, he's turned over. And there you go. Robert Dials stopped again. As soon as he takes the race lead, the smash to pass derby gods frown upon him, and Ball goes straight back to the race lead. Finnegan just ahead, then Plummer. And we now have the most cars on the lead lap in about 90 laps. Ball, Dials, Patty, and Gorange all on the same lap trying to race each other. Gorange about 3 seconds back of Ryan Patty, who's on his own. And then Robert Dials, another 2 seconds up the road. Finnegan now turned over. That doesn't bother the 330 at all. As Dials is about 3.5 seconds behind this gentleman. Adam Ball, rather. And that is the face of unwavering focus on not throwing a caution flag. I'm going to go back and say it one more time. This would be a pretty fun league combo. If this was the expectation, I'm just saying, this would be a pretty fun combo. Lap 105 complete. That means 75 to go. We are in the back half. Call it mid-third quarter, if you will. And we have a new last place. Vincent Lariah has dropped behind Kyle Corley. 32 laps down. Takes some effort. Oh, Lariah! There's where the effort comes in. He just took out Adam Ball. Dials is going to close in, but it's not going to change the hands of the lead. It is going to pack up the top 3. Patty now nearly on the same straightaway. Lariah there goes after Dials for whatever reason, and now Gunther goes after Ball. Lead change. New race leader, car 330 ahead of car 30. Robert Dials to the lead at the Coliseum. Ryan Patty, second place. And there is carnage everywhere. Where does Corley go into turn 1? You see even even Patty was trying to figure out where to go. Corley is going to go for Dials. And new race leader about 60 laps after I called him out. Oh! I think he gets taken out as soon as he takes the race lead. But he had the race lead. Has it for now. Here comes Robert Dials. Will Patty hang on to the race lead for very long? No. No. The answer... Actually, the answer is yes. It was Dials that got absolutely walloped on the backstretch. Gorange now in second place. And Adam Ball has fallen to third. Dials falls to fourth. He's turned over. We've got cars littering the backstretch. Dials, Plummer, Gebbin, Leslie all turned over on that short stretch of asphalt. What in the world have I got myself into? Robert Dials still turned over. He's 2 laps down. 3 laps down. As there goes Patty. So 3 laps down. Oh boy, the surprise of where you'll see the 14 car flying into next. It gets you, man. Lariah, Corley there, he's stopped. Gavin in the pit lane, Plummer in the pit lane after a tow. And Ryan Patty has gotten the race lead, but not by much. Less than a second between himself and Gorange as we get closer to 60 to go. Gorange goes low. That wasn't a great idea. And Patty opens up the lead ever so slightly from the top side of the racetrack there to try and miss the calamity down low. Gorange had a Lariah coming in. Good miss. Vincent, though, not far back. He's really had the most oomph to his hits, if you will. Robert Dials, he had to take a tow. He finally has gone 6 laps down, and I think for now is out of the running. I mean, clearly we've seen Cyrus Gorange be the race leader, then drop completely out by 6 or so laps, and now come back to racing for the lead. But how many times can you do that? How many laps can you go down at this point with just 60 to go and make those laps back up, especially when half the field is turned over in the pit lane or something like that? A bobble there from Patty. We've got ourselves a proper race at the Coliseum. First and second decided there. First goes on by, that is Cyrus Gorange, but for how much longer as there's crashing up ahead? Adam Ball third. He tries to get by Edwin Leslie. Gunther is now fourth. They are 3 laps apart despite being on the same piece of tarmac currently. Leslie gets into Ball. Gunther goes around in contact with the 24. And now Patty has lost over a second. And he was the one that told me these guys don't have to pit for tires or fuel. Or for fuel, rather. And I mentioned, I wonder about those tires. 180 laps on the Legend Car tires. That's asking a lot. Inside of 60 to go. Gorange the race leader. Patty second. Ball back in third. Gunther is fourth. Wow. Big crash out of turn 4. I mean, there's 6, 7 cars involved in that one small piece of asphalt. Patty's involved. Adam Ball comes up to it. And Finnegan is turned over. He's not the only one. Corley's in all of that. There's Corley. Plummer's in it. Plummer gets turned back over, gets Patty. There goes Adam Ball on the bottom side. Lariah spins around. Gorange, the race leader, gets taken out briefly by Vincent Lariah. He gets slowed down a little bit. And now Corley will tow. Edwin Leslie, however, not so keen to do so. He's trying to salvage it. Trying to turn it back over. It's not a monster truck. And Dials goes around on his own accord right in front of the camera. He's pulling over to help the 24, and oh, big crash as a result. That takes out Cyrus Gorange for a moment, slows him down a little bit. Second, though, is Patty across the racetrack in turn 3. Adam Ball is only about 2 seconds back. I'm not sure what I expected from 180 laps out of Legends at the Coliseum. This wasn't on my list, not on my bingo card. But still, I can't knock it. This has been a fun time. Weather conditions have cooled down a little bit. The air temp has come down a bit. Track temp has stayed up there. Let's see brake rotors glowing on the 89 of Gorange. And Cirrus is starting to slow down. I don't know if it's tire wear or just that he knows the situation and is trying to not get taken out right now, but he has been slowing down a little bit. And there we go. That's a big, big calamity. Ball and Patty, they'll be able to close in a little bit. Ryan Patty hasn't been fighting. He let Ball go by recently, and now they're in turns 3 and 4. Cirrus Gorange now into turn 1. They narrowed up a little bit. And for the moment, 10 cars are moving. I think it's going to change. Cirrus Gorange gets taken out. Now Corley is stopped. Lariah is stopped. Leslie, they all kind of pack in one spot. Here we go, though. Second place, Adam Ball. Back within 4 seconds of Cirrus Gorange, and I mean, it's about the same picture as it was 100 laps ago, right? Gorange leading, Ball second. Difference, though, is Ryan Patty is now in the conversation. Well, that changes things up. Gorange got by all of that. Patty is going to go by Ball for just a moment. How long will this last? This is a battle for second. And Ryan Patty opens the top side or bottom side right back up. On a Ball. We'll say, don't mind if I do. It's not that easy, though, to make contact and crash for second. The one thing they didn't need to do, they did. Gonna help the 89 out. He's out of turn 4 here, gets into Lariah for a moment, spins him around, and crashes, does Cirrus Gorange. This is an opportunity. Lariah's gonna hold him there. Corley's gonna give it a shot. Dials is gonna give it a shot and go flipping into turn 1. And now Gorange gets caught up in it. He goes after Corley. There goes Ryan Patty for the race lead. Oh, big crash there for Gavin. And what's interesting to me is Gorange is one of the few drivers that I do not see in the league Discord for this. Maybe under a different name, but he goes right back by Ryan Patty, who gets taken out there in turns 1 and 2, I think by Vincent Lariah. Kevin Gunther, he's starting to close back in. He's 4th, but he's been getting in a lot of crashes himself. He's 4 laps down. As Adam Ball takes over second, Gorange back to the race lead. I mean, it's flipping around now. These guys have kind of got the format figured out, right? Go after the leader, get him packed up, take them all out. Plummer there in the 60, trying to hold up Adam Ball. Gorange, though, is the leader. They're really not. The enemy of the 60 car right now is Ball. And yeah, Plummer's going to let him go by. Again, if they want to go for the leader, they've got to go for the leader, not second place. The seas have parted once again for the 89, but Gebben there kind of makes him check up out of anxiety. Lariah creates a crash, and there you go. Dials and Gunther were a part of it. Gebben goes right on by on the inside. Gebben's 18 laps down and gets taken out by Edwin Leslie. So inside of 40 to go. I want the 4th quarter at this point. Contact there. Corley gets into the 89 briefly, or really the 89 got into Corley. And Gorange, a bit of a drift there to turn 1. We got 3 cars on the lead lap. Ball is second. They're all about equidistant, about 3.1, 3.2 seconds apart from one another currently. Patty's getting held up by Gebben and now by Lariah. There's Corley topside. He has a whopping 53 laps down. And Lariah is going to right hook Patty and send him into the outside wall, send them both into the outside wall. And that, for the moment, puts a dampening on things for the 30 car. So now Ball is closing in on Cirrus Gorange. It's a reverse of about 120 laps ago when Gorange pulled away. I never want to hear again that nothing rhymes with rhymes with orange, rather. I've said Gorange enough. Here we go, Adam Ball. Got there into Leslie. Got helped out by... I've already forgotten which car it was. You can't keep track of how many cars hit how many cars. They all... I want to know the incident count because Gorange just went for a flip. He might have one of the lowest, but here comes Vincent Lariah. Oh, a swing and a miss. Oh, man. What is it? 3 strikes, you're out. Oh! Dials gets turned around. And there we go. I guess he's not out yet. That was a hit. That was more of a grounder, though, right out to first base and tagged out. .30 laps to go. Gorange now has fallen to second place. He's got Finnegan on his back end. Adam Ball has taken the race lead back over, and he's got company. Gebben just pushed Plummer into all of that. Gebben is here on the back end of the 19 car and goes around the top side. Tyler's 18 laps down. There we go. Lariah spins around. Dial spins around. Gunther goes for a flip. I was just going to say Gunther was still in it. Now, probably not. Realistically, you've got 3 cars that can win this. You've got Ball on the 19. You've got Gorange, and you've got Patty. Dials is 13 laps down. There goes Dials right past the 19 car. And here comes Cirrus Gorange. They stack up on the top side, and Gorange gets the free pass as Adam Ball has to come to a stop for Jake Plummer, Robert Dials, and Vincent Lariah, who sends Dials back into the air and flipping for a moment. Dials gets it figured out, backs into Lariah. There's been plenty on the agenda of these drivers tonight. Plenty of revenge in mind. There we go. Plummer checking up right on the nose of Gorange. Gorange sends him through 3 and 4. That was 35 laps ago, rather. Lariah swing and a hit. On a line drive out to right field. But where's Adam Ball? He's not in the conversation just yet. He's closing in. He's just not there. A second and a half back now as Robert Dials has to tow to the pit lane. Plummer takes a swing there. Bit of a foul ball. Didn't really get him. Just kind of tipped the bat. Oh, Gorange takes a swing for himself, sending Gebben out of the way. Gebben has been pretty calm, and I think that's about to change. Gebben hasn't really swung at the race leader much. That might change his attitude, though, as here comes Ball. Back within a second. Lariah, though, on Gorange. Sure enough, contact is made, and Gorange sends Lariah over the wall. Corley's going to hit him, but a lead change. I think Gorange swiped mostly at Lariah, and that has given the race lead with 20 laps to go over to the 19 car. Gunther, though, right hooks him and resets all the progress Adam Ball has made. Oh, man, you try for 20 laps to get back to a guy. And you get right hooked. Ryan Patty into the race lead. He goes by. I think he might have been the one to help Cirrus Gorange into a crash. Ball now goes by Gorange, who got caught up again with Gunther. So a 4-second gap now for Patty. Inside of 20 to go. Oh, how the tables have turned. Believe me, with the amount of crashes we've had, the turns have definitely tabled. That slows up Patty. A second gap. In fact, all 3 of our leaders now within a second and a half. Ryan Patty, Adam Ball, Cirrus Gorange, After 163 laps of smash 'em up, are within a second of each other for the lead, and Paddy spins on his own. Gorange now up the inside of Leslie, moves him out of the way. Your two leaders, a quarter second apart. A spin there from Corley. Ball the race leader, Gorange the car right behind him. That's the race lead, contact there. Who says smash 'em up derbies, smash to pass derbies aren't fun, aren't exciting, aren't worth broadcasting? There we go, Gorange, center hit on the nose. That pulls him out of the fight for the lead. Adam Ball now trying to get by Plummer. What does Plummer do? Plummer's gonna go for the right hook maybe, gets into him, Ball spins, and there goes Cyrus Gorange, leading the circus. And I mean that endearingly. 13 laps to go. Ball gets taken out again. Paddy's going to go by him. There's Ball parked on the inside of turn 3, it looks like. And sliding in with somebody else. Ryan Paddy now second place. He's 6 seconds back. I think the race win was just handed back over, but it's not in any way official. There's still so much that can happen to this 89 car. I'm sure he doesn't want to think about it either. 11 laps this time by. Ghost is clear for a little bit behind him, even ahead of him. He's got some space. 10 laps to go here. He's got some space around him. There is nobody around the race leader. There's 2 cars in the pit lane, Dials and Plummer. Actually, Plummer's flipped. Dials, though, I may have disconnected. 9 laps to go. Is anybody going to get this guy? Plummer has towed. Corley took a shot. Here comes Lariah. He might be the saving grace for Ryan Paddy and Adam Ball. But Gorange knows that. How's he going to treat the situation? Stays right behind the 14. Now goes high. Checks up. Yeah, he knew that was coming. He took matters into his own hands. That was brilliant. A little bit of a right hook as Finnegan is flipped over in turn 1. I think Plummer might have disconnected as well. And Finnegan now dropping further back. Six laps to go. This next time by the flag stand. Where is Ryan Paddy? He's in 1 and 2. Is Lariah going to hurt him or help him? Lariah's going to let him go by for now. Is that going to hold in turn 1? The answer is yes. They're gunning for the race leader now, and that's Gorange. And a Ball gets held up. He's nearly got a lap down now to Gorange, who's right behind him. 5 laps to go. We keep counting them down. 6 laps the gap. Somebody has got to get the 89 if they want anybody else to win this race. Otherwise, we're getting close. Oh, Corley, I don't know how he did that. 4 laps to go. We're getting close to this being a runaway. I mean, a walk-off of 10 laps, almost untouched. Lariah said, assignment understood. He's backing up to the 89 car. Gunther in the middle. Lariah gets taken out. That was 3 laps to go. That might have been the best opportunity anybody had at getting the 89 of Gorange. Corley misses. I think that's it. I mean, it's 2 laps to go, and Paddy is nearly a lap down. On board with Gorange, Paddy and Ball are the 2 cars directly ahead. You're down to about 5 cars that can try and get him. White flag brought to you by Whiplash sim cams, and they've got a roadblock set up. Lariah is trying to stop that 89. He flips Lariah over. I think that's it. Cyrus Gorange is going to come around turns 3 and 4 and win the most interesting race I've ever called. Ryan Paddy turns 3 and 4. He's going to take himself 2nd place. Adam Ball will go 3rd. Across the line there. Gunther comes in for 4th. And our cam op down there right by the start finish line is in some trouble, but that's how you get it done for 180 laps in about 55 minutes. And it has become a smash 'em up down in the, well, on the front stretch. It was already a smash and pass derby, and it's even more so now. So there you are, race winner Cirrus Gorge led 104 laps of 180. Was not to be denied this evening. Ryan Patty, 14 laps led. Adam Ball, 55 for himself. Gunther, 0. I think Dials, the only other driver to lead laps, he got 7. And eventually here, when these guys finish doing burnouts, we might be talking to a couple of them. They have to finish the burnouts first. But while they do that, you can take a look at results rather quickly. There you go, race winner Cirrus Gorge ahead of them all. I think the most insane part of this, aside from the fact that Gorge went all the way back and all the way back up, and he was as low as, let's see, what position was it? As low as 6th at one point. I think that was like 6 laps down or so. Comes back to win this thing by nearly a lap over Ryan Patty. But then the separation 3rd to 4th of 12 laps. That's insane. That makes it look like just 3 cars finished, but it was not the case. See the rest of the bunch that started the race, all the way down through Dylan Matthews. Robert Jones joined briefly, but never made it onto the racetrack. And that's about it. So while these guys have some fun, Ryan Patty went 2nd place. Let's go ahead and grab the driver of the number 30 and talk with them about how that race went. Of course, they're in their off season. These races don't matter the most. It's really about just trying to find somebody to get a free entry to 2024. And Ryan Patty, so close to that race win to grab a bunch of points for yourself. But that had to be a pretty fun 55 minutes.
Yeah, that was absolute riot. You know, we had a lot of guys in the voice channel here in the Icon Discord. Yeah, we're now actually still on the track running a backwards race to see who can win driving in reverse here for bonus points. But yeah, should be interesting to see. We've got a couple of races left in this mid-season series, and we're trying to put together a pretty good field here for the 2024 Icon Cup Series. We start up in February.
Well, if nothing else, you guys certainly be able to have fun on any night of the week and maybe bond over that and get rid of the drama we see sometimes with iRacing leagues, not have any kind of issues like that, right? I mean, you guys clearly can have some fun together.
Yeah, I mean, we like to keep a really good competitive league, and we have some really great racers in here, but, you know, we all know we're not going to go to the Cup Series, and this is a hobby. You know, even though, we want to win some races, maybe get a trophy at the end of the season, we want to be respectful, and, you know, yeah, at the end of the day, you know, we're all pretty good friends with the guys that we race around each week, and that's what we're trying to build here, is a little bit of extra camaraderie in the off-season.
And talk about the rest of the off-season, because it's not just these 5 races you have allotted for this mini-series, but you have some preparations in January as things ramp back up. What else is on the slate for you guys in this kind of winter off-season period?
Yeah, so we've got I think we're doing a rally race after this, and one more, I believe it's a road race. I'm not sure. I gotta look at the schedule, because I know these were kind of voted on by the guys in the league. My favorite was the Monza one we did last week that actually ended up in the pitch black. But then once we get to December, we're going to shift over to a road racing series, which is mainly focused on getting the guys ready for the Daytona 24, because we've got a bunch of guys that run Daytona 24 in both the GTP and the LMP2 classes.
Sounds like a whole bunch of fun. And if drivers want to get involved, I know tonight is more of an advertisement of the off-season festivities, but if drivers want to get involved for 2024 and get racing with you guys on Sunday nights, where do they go? What can they do?
Yeah, so we mainly operate out of the Icon Racing Series Facebook page. We got a button right on the homepage there for signing up. So once you sign up there, that brings you to a Google Sheet. We just ask you some basic questions. What's your iRacing license? What experience do you have? What team would you be on? And then from there, we'll add you to the Discord, and hopefully, as things work out, we'd love to add people to the league. We do have a scoring model that we've built out here, custom for the Icon series, that basically is a average cautions caused per week. So it does help to weed out some of the guys that tend to wreck a little bit more and make it not quite as fun, because we aim to have some more long runs throughout the season, and less wreckers as you have them.
There you go. Ryan Patty, second place this evening, 14 laps led, as low as 13th, finishes second. Good talking to you.
Sounds great. Thanks. Have a great night.
Ryan Patty, second place this evening. Adam Ball goes third. And to my knowledge, those are the only two league members that finish in the top three. Adam Ball ending up going third place. Adam, that has to be one of the most unique races you've ever run on iRacing.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. It was certainly enjoyable.
Well, that's a good thing. Enjoyable is a good thing. You got 180 laps out of the way in just under an hour, and definitely very quickly took on that smash to pass kind of feel. You weren't able to miss all of their crashes, but you missed a good bit of them, obviously, to finish up front. What was your strategy to get by all those crashes? Was there one?
Yeah, the only thing I could say is when I was near somebody, I tried to stay as far away from them as I could.
I think that's as simple as you could put it. Well, of course, preparation's already underway for 2024 as you guys run your backwards race. But as we continue on in this off-season, as a driver here in the Icon Cup Series, what are you trying to have lined up for yourself, maybe your team, going into 2024, to make sure that when we're, this time next year, you are the reigning champion going into the off-season?
Well, that certainly would be nice. I don't know that I'm doing a whole lot at the moment. Just we got everybody on the whole CCR, ECR crew. We had Ryan Patty and Kevin Gunther kind of join us, so we got a 3-part team here with them. So just kind of want to race with everybody and have some fun.
Well, Adam, best of luck avoiding the crashes next time out. Rally cars at Sonoma, that should be a whole lot of fun as you guys try to get one driver free entry into the 2024 Cup Series. It was a lot of fun. Want you to try to miss all those crashes. A shame you couldn't miss them all, but hey, best of luck next time.
Thanks, guys.
Adam Ball goes third place this evening when it's all said and done, and it sounds like these guys are still, well, now I think the reverse race has come to close, actually looking at timing and scoring, but that was certainly one of the races we have covered. That was a lot of fun. It really was. That was maybe the most unique way I have ever spent about an hour and a half on iRacing. I'll say that much. With race number 3 out of the way for these guys in their mini season, next up they take rally cars to Sonoma, much like Ryan Patty was alluding to afterwards. They take just about every car they can out to the Irwindale Figure 8. Who knows? Maybe they run Slinger instead. That's releasing later this week. But until then, let's take a look at what's upcoming here at Pit Stop TV. Of course, you can ignore Sunday, December 3rd, but the next couple of broadcasts, we head out to Iowa Speedway with the Lucky Motorsports Solutions Street Stocks, brought to you by Elevated Performance. That's December 5th. We have one day off in between now and then when we go racing on Tuesday evening. And Friday, we even have some Mustang action thanks to the Barber Ford Mustang Club at Lime Rock Park. So plenty of action yet to go in this week. Some really good races up ahead of these guys. I know the LMS boys, they were running a practice race tonight, getting ready for Iowa, and those Barber Ford Mustang Club gentlemen, they're going to have a lot of fun on the new Lime Rock Park. I say new because they're getting new vegetation added around the racetrack, and that's going to be a lot of fun to look at the very least, if somebody ends up out in the weeds. 180 laps elapsed at the LA Memorial Coliseum. What a day it was. Thanks to the Icon Cup Series for having us along for it. It was a lot of fun. And a big shout out to everybody helping make these broadcasts possible. Whiplash SimCams, ATVO, and CC's Business, our personal partners and whatnot here at Pit Stop TV. It has been a pleasure, and we will see you all next time. Tomorrow night, no, not tomorrow night, in 2 nights' time. The Lucky Motorsports Street Stocks. In fact, in 48 hours and 5 minutes, we go live from Iowa Speedway. We'll see you there.
If you're ready to hit the track in the iRacing Ford FR 500S Mustang, then sign up for the Barber Ford Mustang Club today. With great prizes from our awesome sponsors, this league is fast, fun, and best of all, free to race in. Take on 6 races of wheel-to-wheel action, all broadcasted live on Pit Stop TV. As a member, you will receive a $500 voucher to Barber Ford, plus entry into a raffle for a brand new Fanatec H-pattern shifter. Every point you earn on the track is 1 entry into the raffle, meaning you can race your way into a brand new Fanatec shifter drawn on December 15th. Battle your competitors at Charlotte Motor Speedway, Watkins Glen, Road Atlanta, Barber Motorsports Park, Brands Hatch, and for the finale, Lime Rock Park. Join the Barber Ford Mustang Club at League ID 3350 today.